President Zelensky of Ukraine has visited the southern city of Kherson just days after his troops recaptured it following Russia's withdrawal. President Zelensky addressed some of his soldiers and sang the national anthem as the Ukrainian flag was raised over the city. Kherson was taken by Russia early on in the war, and its recapture by Ukraine is a major strategic blow for the Kremlin.
Three Israelis are in critical condition following what appears to be two separate stabbing attacks in the area of the Ariel industrial zone. This is in the central West Bank. According to initial reports, it's believed that the first stabbing attack took place at a gas station outside Ariel, and then the second one was in the entrance gate to the settlement. Now, as to the attackers, according to reports, one of them has been neutralized, and there's been conflicting reports whether the second one has been killed or there was a manhunt. Initially, they're saying there was a manhunt, but what appears to be more accurate right now is that both have been neutralized and killed.
The spin-Boldak Chaman port, located in Kandahar, a major border crossing between Afghanistan and Pakistan, has closed for trade and transit. This happened after a clash between security force personnel from both sides. The clash was reported between the Taliban forces and Pakistanis on Sunday afternoon. The Associated Press reported that the shooting left a Pakistani border guard dead and two others wounded. However, unconfirmed reports also say that 8 Pakistani soldiers and 3 members of the Taliban forces were killed in the clash. In a video that has now gone viral, one Taliban member can be seen allegedly firing at a Pakistani border guard. According to the same report, the problem started when Taliban soldiers asked Pakistani border guards to stop mistreating Afghan nationals.
Amazon is planning to lay off about 10,000 people in corporate and technology jobs starting as soon as this week. That's according to a report from the New York Times on Monday, citing people with knowledge of the matter. The cuts will focus on Amazon's devices unit, which houses voice assistant Alexa, as well as its retail division and human resources, according to the report, which also said the total number of layoffs remains fluid. As of December 31st last year, Amazon had more than 1.6 million full-time and part-time employees and had recently said it would freeze hiring to its corporate workforce for the next few months.
Tonight, shock and sadness on the campus of the University of Virginia. You can still see the bullet hole in the bus window where the suspect allegedly opened fire just after 10 p.m. Sunday. It was packed with students returning from a class trip to see a play in Washington, D.C. when authorities say Christopher Darnell Jones Jr. opened fire, killing UVA football players Devin Chandler, Lavelle Davis Jr., and Deshaun Perry. 2 other students were wounded. Jones, a fellow student and former member of the football team, fleeing the scene, sparking an intense manhunt. Students and staff sheltering in place overnight. UVA Police Chief Tim Longo learning the suspect was captured an hour away without incident in the middle of a news conference.
Just need a moment to thank God. Breathe a sigh of relief.
The British government announced on Monday the early withdrawal of its military contingent currently deployed in Mali as part of the UN mission to the country. Behind the decision is the ruling junta's use of the Russian paramilitary group Wagner. According to the Ministry of Defense, the commitment was supposed to last for 3 years, but faced with the rising instability in the country, London decided to anticipate the withdrawal of its troops, who should leave Mali in the next 6 months.
Earth now has 8 billion people living on it, according to a report by the United Nations. But the interesting part is that the next billion people are projected to come from only 8 countries: Congo, Egypt, Ethiopia, India, Nigeria, Pakistan, the Philippines, and Tanzania. The latest projections by the United Nations suggest that the global population could grow to around 8.5 billion in 2030, 9.7 billion in 2050, and 10.4 billion in 2100. The projection is revealed in the UN's World Population Prospects 2022 report, which also shows that India is on course to surpass China as the world's most populous country in 2023.
The gas has been produced at an offshore plant run by Italian energy firm Eni, but British oil giant BP has the purchasing rights over it. The gas left in a British cargo ship for Europe, but its final destination is unclear. The shipment comes at a time when Europe is looking for alternative sources of gas as it tries to reduce its reliance on Russia. Mozambique's government believes the discovery of the gas will boost the economy. But its efforts have been hampered by a 5-year-long military insurgency that has killed more than 4,000 people